and welcome back to the Wandering Gamer Network Plays Mass Effect. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Cody.
And
Caitlin, I lost my train of thought. We were talking about something and then I got
Frankenstein.
distracted. Oh, Frankenstein. Okay, yeah. So I was in a lecture hall of, like 90 people, and they're all trying to kind of take this movie seriously because we're in a college class. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to, be professionals here or whatever. And there's that scene where he's slipping around after he gets born and they're like falling down and rolling all over each other. And I was laughing so hysterically hard. I was screaming with laughter in a totally silent lecture hall full of professors as this was going on. But it was the funniest thing I have ever seen.
This seems to happen a lot. I feel like this is a theme when you watch movies in any sort of like semi-academic setting.
Yeah.
Where, or even just serious, like semi-serious setting where the other people with you are just like not screaming with laughter, and you're just like the lone hysteric. The worst one, I think we were watching some Woody Allen movie, and at one point, there's Woody Allen's character's sister says, "A strange man defecated on my chest last night," and I just lost it, just screaming with laughter as everyone else is like, "What's the matter with you?" Oh no, oh my gosh, no, it was Jesus of Montreal. Oh, that one was great. Oh, I've watched that one.
Have you actually seen it?
I've seen it, but it wasn't in college. It was after.
Oh, I actually kind of love that movie. But there's the scene where, like, the context of the movie is it's like about a kind of a modern day Jesus Christ who's it's like all metaphor of like he gathers disciples and does this thing.
Yeah, just
and
like a
gets
retelling
killed.
Sort of.
Yeah, because he's putting on a thing called like the Stages of the Cross, I think.
Stations of the Cross.
Yeah, this is a part of Christianity I'm actually not like personally familiar with, so if I get facts wrong, I apologize. Well, actually, you can correct me. So he puts on this kind of like, I guess, controversial retelling of that, where he's cast as Jesus and he has to assemble all of these other people to do it with him. And they kind of function as the disciples, and at the end he gets killed on the cross in real life, But one of the disciples he gathers, he finds overdubbing pornography.
Oh, yeah.
So there's this scene where this guy is trying, like one of the overdub actors doesn't show up. And so this guy is alone in a sound booth, and the director's like, well, the other person didn't show up. Can you just voice both of the people? So you get.
I do remember this, yeah.
So you get him like grunting as a man, and then switching to a different microphone and moaning as the woman, and just going back and forth between the two. And he's like this sweaty, kind of chubby guy, and he gets all confused. He's like, "I can't do it. I keep getting the parts screwed up. All right, I can't do this." And that was, again, I was like sitting in a classroom of 8 other people.
Oh, you guys watched that as a class?
Yeah.
What class was this for?
Portraits of Christ.
Yeah.
I did not do well or like that class. Me and my professor agreed on how we both felt about our performances in that class. We're both like, you didn't get it. You didn't get what I was doing. I didn't get what you were doing. We did not do well with this. But I loved that movie. And a lot of other people in my class did not appreciate a depiction of a disciple as a guy that overdubs pornography. I found it hilarious.
I mean, I think I feel like it fits with what they were going for, of like outcasts of society.
Yeah, like these were all like these weird art people that had been kind of, they had like pure art at their heart, but then when faced with what does an artist do after they kind of have to function in the real world, well, this guy who's a great actor was overdubbing porn because that's the work he could find.
Yeah, I feel like that's not far off from a tax collector in ancient Middle Eastern
time.
So.
I don't know how frequently people understand the like ramifications of being a tax collector at that time, because you're right, that was actually pretty like hated.
You're like betraying your heritage and scamming your own people.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Just like pandering to the oppressing empire at the time. So not great.
I can't remember if the because there was a like Mary counterpart in that, and I don't remember if she was a prostitute. I can't remember. That kind of would have fit with the thing they were. I can't remember what her deal was now. It's been a long time. Either way, if anyone's ever interested in watching a weird Canadian art film, Jesus of Montreal, 10 out of 10. Loved the movie. It's refreshing, too, to see movies where they just cast ugly people. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like the J.K. Rowling effect we were talking about.
Well, but it's like, you watch a certain type of entertainment and everyone is the exact same type of stunningly beautiful,
Yeah.
And
You're looking for something other than the CW.
Yeah, it's fun to watch these things where they're like, well, we cast this weird-looking troll guy. Like, awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I think we just won this part and we just get to move on.
Yay, go us.
I just kind of kept shooting, and then eventually I didn't have to shoot anymore.
No, now we have Rex's folks.
Yeah. I'm really glad I don't bring Rex with me, because I would have felt really bad about killing all of these Krogans.
I mean, the Krogans, he said they kind of have all gone their own way, right?
Yeah, but it still doesn't feel great, He's like, Shepard, we're all gonna die. But anyways, I guess that's all right.
Good Rex impression.
I'm just gonna chuck this guy. Bam!
There you go.
Wow, that did not work. Okay, I'm gonna use overload on this guy. Bam! That did work. Ow. I took that rocket to the face like a champ.
Are we like in space? Is that space above us?
I think that we're inside of we're like not in space proper, but we're in the, whoa, this guy closed the distance.
Can you just like throw him into space?
Well, this above us isn't exactly
just,
space.
like,
We're inside of the, I think
it's like a hangar sort of ish.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I think that the Citadel could be closed, so I think good lord, could you just go away for 2 seconds? I'm trying to have a conversation. You're being very
Liara.
rude.
Is Liara okay?
No, she's fine.
Okay.
She's just blocked or whatever that means. I'm not fully confident what that actually means. Anyways, use neural shock on that guy.
No. The red just made me think, I don't know, maybe they were like joining their wands or something.
Talk about that phallic imagery.
Oh
my gosh! I just don't think they ever stop spawning.
Oh, bye. Oh, what was that?
That was Liara. That's singularity.
Oh, I mean, her. I get it.
Her ability, yeah.
Yeah. Combined. I feel like we should have combined with her on that a little more often.
What do you mean?
Power, like her.
Oh, she used that a ton.
No, I mean, like, have we been like, she's been lifting them up, and then we've been.
Yeah, that was all those like gross spider things. That was like happening a ton.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did do that.
Oh, my shields are down. My shields are down. Heal up. Pew pew those.
Okay, now it's got an epic soundtrack. It's
right? It finally. I don't know why it didn't for the cutscene. Okay, what is happening? Okay, apparently I'm not supposed to walk that way. I'll go this way. Heaven forbid I walk around the flank.
There's choices in this game, Cody.
Only walk straight down the middle so the rockets can. Ow! Oh my gosh! Hide! Oh, hide! Well.
We died.
Sorry,
When's
guys.
the last time you saved?
It's been a little bit. That was my own fault.
Cody, I'm worried.
I don't think it'll be that bad. We're just going to redo the exact same conversation. So anyways, Jesus of Montreal.
No, I watched it for our alumni book club because it was part of, I think it was part of the syllabus we were doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because my book club has a syllabus. Yay.
Nerds.
I know. Right now we're so like half the year we have a syllabus.
Oh, wait.
And half the year we read our own stuff, which is why I'm reading Red Rising.
Caitlin.
Yes.
How are you feeling about Red Rising? Where are you at?
So I'm like 30% in.
Okay.
Right now.
That's a decent way through.
Yeah, so he's not in his little podunk hometown anymore.
Okay.
And he's spoilers, he's becoming a gold.
Oh, okay, so you're at that point now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to actually go.
And so far, so this is gonna be maybe controversial for you. Whoa, hey, we used our speed thing.
Yeah, there's guys.
We should be doing that more. Yeah, so this would be a controversial opinion for you, but so far it's fine. It's just fine. And I don't see, I knew this would be difficult for you. Yeah, it's just okay. I don't have any like really hateable moments to talk about. I don't have like really, oh, this was the best thing ever moments to talk about. And I guess like if it was really, really good, I would be gushing about it, because that when I read the first book of the Expanse, Leviathan's Wake, like I was really jazzed about it.
Yeah.
Like immediately. So yeah, it's just okay. Okay, so I was talking with Zach about this. What do you think, like, the point of him becoming a gold is? Because Zach said one thing, and having just read it, I'm like, I don't think that's it at all. And so I'm wondering what you will say to that question.
Well, I mean, narratively, there's a point, which is that they need an undercover guy to be a gold and go and do gold stuff, you know, and like overthrow the government because they need someone in power to do that, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, there's that.
So Zach's take was like, oh, they need somebody to prove that reds are just as good as golds.
Oh, well...
And I was like, I don't really think they're that altruistic. So, like, the premise of the book is that there's, like, all these classes. They're assigned colors. Reds are the very lowest. Golds are, like, superhumans. They're the highest.
If you want to know what part of this book makes me roll my eyes and just, like, sigh, it's the fact that they are like, we're an adult book. Anyways, now here's all the colors. They're just like districts, but colors. We can't trust you to understand that rich, powerful people are bad. So... we'll call them golds just in case you get confused. Thanks, book. I get it.
So anyway, so then the main character, red guy, is lowest class and is like being transformed so that he can sneak in and take over as a gold. But Zach's thing was like, oh, they're like, it's to show that they're not, golds aren't better than reds, and then they turn him into a gold so that he's like literally superior physically and mentally in every way because of their like intellect and hyper strength. Yeah, and I was like, I don't think that's actually the point. Like, I don't think better or like human equality has anything to do with it, really. That's not their goal. Their goal is to like turn the tables.
So
I know you've read a lot farther.
I have.
How far in the series did you read?
I haven't read the third book. Have I read the third book?
I think it's Iron Gold. No, that's the fourth one. What is it? Red Rising, Golden Sun.
I think that I'm through the second book, and there's a third and a fourth. But I think the fourth is technically part of a different series, so there's like 2 trilogies. So I'm 2/3 of the way through the main trilogy of the book. I do not think that Zach is fully wrong about saying that the point is to show that reds are just as good as golds. There are physically differences in the story between a red and a gold. Like, literally golds are a foot taller, 100 pounds heavier, and bones are stronger.
Yeah.
Like, they are, and their brains work faster. They've been genetically engineered to be better.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's exactly about showing that golds are not better. I think it's showing that reds can be just as good. Like, if you take a red and cut up their body to the point where they are a gold, they're just as good as a gold. And I don't think any golds would say that.
Okay.
I think the golds are of the opinion that they are special and uniquely qualified, and I do think that that is supposed to be a clumsy and obvious analogy for, like, social status and wealth in our country or any country, is that, like, if you are born wealthy and well-fed and healthy, yeah, you're given every advantage, and that does actually play out in that you're likely to, like, develop better, like, you know, to like develop to be smarter, to develop to be stronger, and like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're given a better caloric diet, you're less likely to grow up like stunted and miserable. And I think that's the extreme exaggeration of, right? Is that, I mean, it's a very real thing that if you cut our diets in half, like, we've gotten taller as a species because of having prevalent food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I think is the point that they're getting across, just in a very ham-fisted way. But again, part of my issue with the book is they feel the need to make it that ham-fisted, where they're like, the Golds all have gold hair, and they're really tall. Like, you could just say they have more money. That's what you mean. Like, okay, great.
So, I guess I didn't, and I agreed with Zach on this, where, like, if that is the point, is, like, showing that reds are just as good, quote unquote, as golds, like, why are you taking everything that is red about him and getting rid of it, and then saying
so
it's okay?
The other kind of
the
thing
same?
here that I'm snarky about is this book is kind of at some point Mean Girls in space.
I don't think I've quite gotten that far yet.
Well, I mean
he's met people and kind of been like standoffish with them.
Right, but you've seen the movie Mean Girls, right?
Yes,
and you're aware of what happens in Mean Girls, where she kind of becomes a mean girl by trying to infiltrate the Mean Girls. Mm-hmm. So big shock. That's what happens in this book, right? Mm-hmm. The whole point is that he's supposed to stay a red despite being made a gold. Mm-hmm. You know, and then it's like, oh, but at some point I start really feeling like I'm better than the Reds, and you know, and
well, it's like
and
when
I
you
am
spend
stronger,
all day
I am smarter. Yeah,
you spend all day talking arrogantly and acting arrogantly.
Well, and making plans and devising schemes,
right,
and doing all this stuff,
being better than everybody else, like crushing them under your heel, and then it's like, oh, you're a different person now.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah.
That's the super clever commentary that this book manages to make, is the same exact one that's in Mean Girls.
And you liked Mean Girls better.
Yeah, I mean, I did. But that kind of ends up
can gold boobs tell if it's already raining? That's the real question.
You know, there is a lot of description of gold boobs, so...
Is there?
Well... Yeah, the golds are all like...
Oh yeah, because they don't care about being naked.
Yeah, so they're just always naked, and it has... Yeah, anyways. You'll get me on a tangent if I start talking about that.
So my problem with so far is that they made a big deal about, like, oh, he's so talented as a red, like, he's got crazy dexterity, and it made him survive. And then it's like, oh, and then we're going to, like, rip out all of your nerves and muscles and tendons and replace them. But then it's like, oh, yeah, like, my hands are still my advantage. Like, I'm still, like, better than everybody else with them because of my natural ability. I'm like, what do you have left? Nothing. Nothing. None of the same things that made you good at being a helldiver, which is this occupation as a red. Like, none of those things are left. There's none. Because you've been, like, replaced and upgraded. So I don't get what the point of that was. Like, they go really in depth into, like, oh, these are all the things that have changed, that they had to, like, do to him genetically, or not, like, physically, to replace it. And then they're just like, oh, but he's still got something, you know, because he had to be naturally good at something.
Right.
And I was just like, but why?
Well, and that ends up kind of...
It's supposed to be his thing, like, I get it. But
well, and it's supposed to... He's still just, like, another power fantasy character, and this kind of gets tricky when... And we gotta be careful about time here, but... So, with a book like this that's trying to make a social commentary on, like, how poverty and power relate, and how, like, your circumstances do end up determining a lot about you, and how blind you can be when you're in those certain circumstances. You know, like, you meet golds that are kind of good people, but they just don't realize. Like, they're so far into it, they have no concept of the plight of the Reds. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, so yeah, when you're dealing with a book that kind of has that type of social commentary, I think it starts to lose some of its traction when your main character is still a, like, uber person power fantasy guy who's, like, a special chosen one. Because that kind of goes against that notion of, like, oh, you know, all people deserve to be human, and we all deserve the same rights, and we all deserve to be treated with the same respect, but in order to be saved, we still do need special superhumans that are extra better than everyone else. And it's like, well, that's kind of...
Right,
defeats the purpose of this.
You needed everyman.
I would much rather him have been an everyman that gets forced into this situation where he has to, like, become a leader. Instead, they're like, well, he was already the special super chosen one, and that's the only red that could have ever made a difference, and none of the other reds ever will. And it's like, well, that's like the whole point of your book is that you shouldn't need him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That ends up being part of it. Anyways,
this is a good time to wrap up. Oh, everything's on fire.
Everything is on fire. This was that throne room that I said looks like it would make a good place for a gunfight.
Well, you were right.
Sure
and
was.
We'll get to it next time. So keep wandering, everybody.
Bye.
Hey Wanderers, thanks for listening to the Wandering Gamer Network plays Mass Effect. We hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to hear more content from the Wandering Gamer Network, check out the link in the description. We have several actual play podcasts including D&D 5th Edition, City of Mist, and many more. Until next time, keep wandering.